Okay? Which is matters arising, matters of report, sorry. Right, Councillor Byrne?
Yes, I'd like to just make an opening statement on behalf of our residents and colleagues that have attended this evening from Nayland Road, that we describe as the Ladygate estate. I think, as most of you know, Havebury lost their planning application sometime last year to build on a very small plot of land up on Nayland Road. Unfortunately, they went to appeal and the appeal has been upheld, and it would appear that although the planning application, the numbers of dwellings have been reduced from 6 to 4, it is likely to go ahead. I've got a meeting booked with the residents tomorrow on the Leaston at 7 o'clock, of which I'm hoping that they will attend, but also others that are on Parkside. There is concern now from Parkside residents that exactly the same will happen. But I think, and I'd like to thank you, Pat, because I think we should give an opportunity to those residents that have come tonight to raise their concerns. I don't think that there's anything statutory that we can do for them. But I think the Town Council should be supporting them against any build whatsoever, and if there's anything that we can do. There is concerns that the inspector in his report has got a number of things incorrect, and how we challenge that. So if I can...
Yep. I don't know if you've seen the report. I've got copies here. We're most concerned about paragraph 13. So if you'd like to read paragraph 13, we'll get the elements together. Now, although they've got number 27, if you look at the plan, what they're looking at, and what the inspector looks at, is number 28, which is the end house of the middle block. So if you read the report, and then look at those, and then look at that is number 28, and that's what the report was referring to. I think you'll agree.
Yeah.
The house that we're concerned about has got 3 young girls under 7. And you can see the extent of their back garden goes right across to the hedgerow. Whereas on this plan it shows it finishing there. In actual fact it finishes there.
Oh, is that where you put the black dotted line, is it?
I'll put the black dotted lines in here. That's where their garden actually finishes.
Right.
Because the person who bought the house first bought that block of land.
Can I just make one comment? Those of you that sit on the Development and Control meeting at the borough, I think if they identify themselves to you before or after the meeting, you need to talk to them, because they're the ones that act.
I don't think because of family commitments, I don't think they're here.
Yeah, David's here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, I thought you
Tony
meant
at the back and John.
Yeah, I thought you meant thing for 27.
No, sorry.
This is actually number 27's garden. Now this was taken from a step ladder, which obviously is going to be a lot lower than the balcony, which is shown there,
Yeah.
which directly overlooks their garden. Roughly in line with where the balcony will go.
Right.
So that's the view from the top of the step ladder. Right. You can imagine the balcony's going to be a lot higher.
So in relation to that, where's the...
The balcony will be roughly here, but obviously a lot higher. So they're going to have a clear view straight into the back garden.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also on the report, one of the other things that he mentioned we were concerned about was that on this little green here, the girls from here play occasionally because their mum will keep an eye on them. When it came up, he said, I saw no evidence of children. he came up at 20 to 12 on a miserable damp morning when school kids were at school and the two liquids were indoors. Well, on a nice sunny day, that's where they play. Because their mum can keep an eye on them from the kitchen window. So we think it's totally out of order, totally wrong, and because he survived the wrong house, had he survived the right house, would this application have been passed?
Borough refused it.
Exactly, and that's the other thing.
And Havebury appealed it.
Yeah, yeah, we have that.
And, yeah. But what I don't understand, and I'm new to this, so the from people in the room that's clever will know more than me, but I don't know where we go other than making a lot of noise. Because once the officer has made a decision, I think the only way the borough can go back is then to go to a judicial review.
So even though he's made a decision on totally inaccurate
We can
information,
ask the question, but I don't actually know if we can even ask the question. But we've got development control meeting next week, no, week after next.
Next week.
It's
Well,
next week,
I
yeah.
don't mean this in the realism way, but what's the point of having a planning committee? If they turn things down, somebody goes, I'm good with that.
Can I just,
Yeah,
can I
and
just
you're
make
not
a
wrong.
suggestion?
You're not wrong.
Hold on, speak through me.
Can they counter appeal?
No. We can go to judicial review, but there's no appeal against the officer's decision.
So what happens to judicial appeal?
Well, the council would have to fine hundreds of thousands of pounds probably to do it. It's the
Well, what you're
first
saying
thing.
is...
What I'm saying is I don't know.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
on the face of it, they've made a big mistake, but that's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah,
No, I think we can ask the question. We have to ask the question.
right, before I come to you, Councillor Bernard, Councillor Turner put his hand up before, so I'll come to you next. Councillor Turner?
Yeah, so I've got 2 or 3 things to say at the moment. So first, I think it's right to bring it to our attention and to ask for our help to do it. The second point is that I'm not sure that it's been done the right way. I think on point of order, we're straying utterly away from what we should be doing. To ask a member of the public to speak at this point of time isn't appropriate for this meeting in the way it's been done. Had it been done before by letting others know on the planning committee this was going to happen, I think my stance and position would be different. My view on the issue is that we absolutely support you. Absolutely. We threw it out before and said we're opposed to it. We wrote to the Borough Council and said we are absolutely opposed to this. We don't want it to go ahead. We think you're money grabbing and some other things. And I think we still fully support that position. What we can do about it, as has been said, I'm not entirely sure. I think from a planning committee point of view, we can request that there's a letter written from full town council. I think the clerk will help us with that, and we can write and outline the strongest objection possible to what's gone on and to raise this mistake up. Now, the other thing that we could do is to make sure that the press are well aware of this and that it's covered in the press, that a mistake like this is being exposed. I think that the planning officers have made this kind of a mistake, made decisions based on it, and that there is very little else we can do without spending inordinate amounts of public money in order to rectify it, which is also fundamentally wrong. Beyond that, I think it's over to our borough councillors to bring it up at the borough level and do something there. Thank you.
Councillor Byrne?
Yeah, I agree with what is being said on the other side of the table, that there's very little we can do. But because of what we've identified, the borough officers have a responsibility to make sure that what the inspectorate has upheld the appeal on is the right factors in the planning application. So my proposal or suggestion would be that you get on the agenda for next week, that the officers revisit the plans that went up for appeal, and you get a view from those officers what they can do if the inspectorate has got it wrong. Now, I understand that a judicial review is out of question because of the financial situation, but if this is wrong, if there are errors in this, then it's up to the officers at the borough to challenge those concerns.
Councillor Roach?
Fully agree with you. Quite happy to take it up and ask the questions at Borough, absolutely. Because we said no once, Borough has said no, and the inspector has said yes. So if the inspector's got it wrong, we should be able to change it. Whether we can or I don't know, but we have to ask the
I think
question.
the officers can ask
Yeah.
questions of the inspectorate.
I think they can. But what we need to do is make sure we put a line in the sand so that if it comes up anywhere else as well, that we are a bit clever and perhaps a bit cuter than what we were this time.
In terms
In terms of if Havebury come along with something else as well.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Although I'm not quite sure what you can do other than we say no, Borough says no, and Havebury get it anyway, because they can spend money to go to the inspector. But we
And that's
certainly...
another question. They're a charity. How much have they spent on this appeal to do it for you?
And also, they could suppose spend that money on the house and they can't put them right.
But, Councillor Turner.
Sorry, Chair, can I just come back? I do accept your point about the way this has developed this evening, but this is their only opportunity, and I think Colin tried to accommodate them here rather than a full town council. So there are occasions sometimes when we have to step outside the box to support the residents.
Councillor Turner?
What's I going to say? Yes. Chair, can we ask that Havebury come in and explain to us, as a council group, exactly what they're thinking about planning things in our town? Now, we've got a job to represent the constituents. We do work hard at that, I think, as a town council, and we've got a record of doing exactly that. I think it's time to ask the chairman of Havebury to come in and make a statement and explain in front of us exactly what he was thinking and why he's continuing to do this and to approve it. That appeal that's gone through cost them money. It must have gone through the chairman of Havebury in order to be signed off for them to go ahead and do it. So it's had his decision and his support behind it. And we need to have him in here and answer us, as the town council representing the people, that they're stamping all over, whether they're truly doing the right thing for their charity in not respecting the people of the town.
Okay, I'll take that on board.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, yeah.
Actually, while you're asking the guy about asking, have you got 3 daughters or granddaughters under 7? If so, would you like somebody overlooking them when they're playing out the garden?
I'd love to, but I don't think that's an appropriate planning question. Of course, you'd be welcome to ask as a member of the public.
Yeah, certainly come.
Yeah, there is a thing, a guidance, I think, whereas you shouldn't overlook someone's garden within so many metres as well. I don't know how close this is to them, but it looks
I think
pretty
it's
close.
outside of that. I think they're within the rules.
Well, not by what it says. Looks on this plan. It don't look like it's too far away, does it? Really? Yes, Councillor Brooks.
Perhaps just a phone call to the inspector, because this would just be a typing error where it should say 28 instead of 27. So just a phone call would clear that error up.
I mean, it might not be clear to the inspectorate that their guy's actually got it totally wrong. That's what I'm saying. Had the report been correct, would it have been passed?
Yeah. Perhaps that what we've got to put in the letter then to the Borough Council, part of our objection. Yes, Councillor Solomon, want to come back?
Yes, while we're on the subject of Havebury, we were talking about the new block that they've put up along the Withersfield Road, not very far from a fellow councillor here. I noticed that they've put wood cladding on the front of the building now, and I don't recall that being part of the original plan. The original plan, as I recall, was that it would be in keeping with other houses along that stretch of the road, and particularly was to mirror the building opposite. So why the hell have they put the wood cladding on the front? Because I don't believe that that's in line with their planning approval that was given. So that's a matter arising, notice to report, on a different, but that's related to Havebury matter as well.
Okay. So
Chair, can I
that's
just-
another letter to them as well.
Chair,
Yes.
I think The wood cladding, I have a feeling the wood cladding was part of the plan because they compared it to that block further along that's called, yeah, which is cladded, and I think that's the comparison that they made. I may be wrong, but I think that was on the plan.
Councillor John Burns?
Yeah, sorry, just to let you know, I mean, I looked at the planning inspector's website in detail. There are two grounds, as I understand it, for appeal. One is, has been mentioned about judicial review. The only other way to do it is via a formal complaint through their email addresses on the website, but you have to do it within 3 weeks of the inspector's report. And that may be a way of doing something. There's no harm in doing that, at the very least, because you're, you know, even if he turns around and says, no, you're totally wrong, at least you've registered your complaint. So at the very least, I would suggest that would be...
Especially on that paragraph 15, is it? 13?
13.
Yeah.
And I think that...
No, I'm sorry. I've already sent that to the inspector and told him paragraph 14 is another rubbish, basically. They surveyed the wrong house. No shit, don't have a reply.
You haven't got a reply on that? Right, sorry, councillors, through the chair, please, not to each other. Do you want to say something, Councillor Clutchy?
No, we're just discussing that for the 3 weeks, that was all.
Right, there's another week, so someone's just said. Is that right? There's another week to go. So. Right, there's two things. There's one that Councillor Turner suggested, and the other one was whether we write a letter to ourselves as a town council to the inspectorate on the grounds, the same grounds of that paragraph 15, which is wrong.
13.
13. I keep saying 15. I don't know why. It's 13. I'll just, you know, it's then to do we agree to that? First of all, I'll come back to you, Councillor Crooks. Do we agree to that? To them two things.
I think that makes sense as a statutory body, that if we write to them and object, I don't think we can harm it. I don't know whether that's right or wrong, whether we've got the power to do that, but I can't see any reason why we shouldn't.
Have we got the power to do that, Colin?
Well, we have the power to write, it doesn't make any difference in terms of, we don't have any sway over them, but anyone is entitled to make a complaint about the appeal if they believe there's been a mistake. And from what I've heard, if there is a mistake, this is not the only issue, but if there has been a mistake and one of the grounds is dismissed, then that issue is grounds for a complaint.
Okay. Yeah. The writing a letter to the judicial review inspector. No, that'd be directly to him. But we need to, the first one is. We need to write that to the borough as well, really, don't we? That one. We need to copy the borough in, don't we, on that inspectorate one? Do you agree? Yeah, on that? Yeah. Right. Can I have a proposer and seconder for them two proposals that we're going to do first? Get that out of the way.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to second it if you wish.
Right, Councillor Crooks opposed? On both of those, on both of them. Councillor Rhodes second. Right, all those in favour, please show. We haven't yet. Right, Councillor Crooks, yeah?
I would just urge residents individually to do complaints as well to the inspector. Don't just leave it to the council. All of you do your own complaint.
We have those.
Yeah.
Actually, somewhere, there must be on some of these in the emails I've sent and not received.
You're on the
But yeah, I sent one to the electorate saying that,
Yeah.
explaining that they've surveyed the wrong house. I say no shit, they don't.
Yeah, but there might be other things that other
Like
residents
the
have.
timescales, yeah.
There might be other things that other residents got to object to as well. Is there any more on that subject from any more residents?
Can I just ask one last question?
Yes.
I think you've been out to the site before.
Yeah.
I've already said this. The piece of land the other side of the hedgerow,
Yeah.
who owns that?
The borough.
the borough.
The grid, you're talking about the other side of the hedge?
Yeah,
That's
between
on the
Clears
road.
Road, between Clears Road and Nayland.
I think,
I mean, Haverhill could build those houses plus the double ones they want to put down the other end on there. What about the borough? Just say to them, you can have it for £1. We won't have to cut it. We won't have to cut it anymore. It's no good for everything else. You know,
That is the problem, isn't it? They won't give away anything. It's the same as Suffolk County Council, because we wanted the magistrates court, you know, they wanted huge money
10
for
years
it.
not cut it, they've got their money back.
Yeah, it's just that they want huge money for these sort of things, and that's the problem. And Havebury won't, you know, haven't got the finance to pay out for them sort of things. That's why they're building on their own
Let
land.
it go for a capital price.
Right, okay.
can I
Right.
just, can I just say
Councillor
one
Byrne?
thing? Just
Yeah.
tomorrow night at 7 at the Leaston,
Yeah.
although we've discussed the legal aspect of all of this, tomorrow night there will be a bigger agenda about
Yeah.
what you have to consider.
Is that when,
Right, get
is that when they're sitting and...
And what time is that?
7.
7.
That's when they're sitting and changing ourselves to the figures come to.
Right, thank you for that. Thank you, everyone.
Can I,
Councillor Turner.
Yes.
do you need to...
Chair of
Oh,
Havebury.
Hold on, we've got one more from Councillor Turner. I think it's on the subject, isn't it?
Yes, so did we get a resolution on inviting the Chair of Havebury to come in and speak to us on the
No, we haven't. No. Do you want me to put that forward?
If you can, yes.
Right.
I'll copy the letter to him.
Right,
Perhaps starting here, Vicky, with the town council are sorely disappointed.
Councillor Turner's suggesting asking Havebury chairman to come in, or, well, it's not chairman, sorry, he's not chairman, is he? He's a director.
Chairman or chair lady, whichever.
Well, do you want the chair? The chairman is a different thing, isn't it? Chairman is the board of directors, whereas
I'm pretty sure they'll send
the
deputy
CO
anyway.
or the CO. Do you want the CO to come?
Karen Mayhew, isn't she?
Karen Mayhew.
Get them both.
Do you want Karen Mayhew?
If that's the top of the tree, yes.
Right, okay. The suggestion that Karen Mayhew to come to Town Council and ask him questions. Can I have a proposal for that?
I'll propose that.
Right,
Or second list of line.
Yep.
right. Okay. All those in favour, please show. Okay. Right, is there any more?
Just for all those, there's a copy of the emails I've sent, you see.
Right, okay.
Good to you.
Right, okay, I'll give them to Colin. Okay.
That was the inspector's report. We've got that.
You've got that, yeah?
Inspector's report.
Yeah, carry on, that too. Right, okay, thank you for that, everyone. Right, back to item 5, if I'm right. Well, no, let's get to item 5, because it's members of the public. Okay. Right, item 5, members of the public. Does anyone want to speak on it? Oh, yes.
Roger Andre, Chair.
Roger?
I've got copies of this from the Town Clerk. I would request that the Town Council consider a response to Havebury Housing Association following their success in the previous decision of SEPC to reject the development of housing on the Haverhill site in Nayland Road. This development proposal has been considered carefully by the Town Council Planning Committee, by the SEPC Development Control Committee. Residents, town, borough and county councillors have all expressed the view that development is inappropriate and will substantially damage the residential amenities of the site.
Yes.
Whilst our community appreciates the need for Havebury to make best use of its resources and to provide sustainable, quality, affordable homes for the growing needs of our community, that requirement should have regard to the impact on the existing community. In failing to respond to the considerable concerns expressed by so many, Havebury is at risk of disengaging with our town. It is unthinkable that our town council should continue to support any group which is so arrogantly set against the will of the community to pursue their financial ends, whatever the cost to our well-being. I would urge councillors to consider how the town council might withdraw any support for Havebury in future proposals. There are many other housing associations operating in our town and in our region who manage to provide affordable homes in appropriate locations. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Would you like to give a copy to the town clerk of that? Roger? Yeah. Thank you very much.